My idea about selling is to bring more value to the hour. And so I do this by the way I greet the client, whether that be in person, over the phone, virtually, via email, via voicemail, whatever contact point I have, I want to do the very best I can. This is 1910. 1910. We're talking about virtual selling, 2025. I'm talking about 1910. And so mathematically speaking, I want you to make your greetings the very best they can, the very best they can be, so that we make an impression. And as we make more impressions, we're going to become more attractive as a salesperson. And the higher the attraction, the more the client is going to want to embrace us and do business with us. How you can be the greatest salesperson on the planet.
Welcome to the Rethink Sales Show. My name is Derek Kelly. I am joined by Jim Shorkey.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
And Jim, something that's important in the selling landscape right now is these virtual calls. You and I were talking off camera, a Zoom call, a Teams call, whatever people use, but those video conferencing calls. How do you maintain confidence and do a sale well when it's virtual? What does that look like? And I know you've done a lot of in-person selling. So how would you adapt your process when doing things virtually, or would you not adapt it at all? Or what would you change? Because many of us are in the positions where we're doing some sales, myself and other people, virtually.
Yeah.
How would you tweak, or what would you change, or how would you adapt?
I don't think I would change anything. And let me explain. I would not change anything. I'm still going to do my emails. I'm still going to do my phone calls. I'm still going to do my one-on-one contact, press the flesh, we call that. I'm in front of you. This is additive. I'd rather look at it as additive. When I was selling cars back in 1979, we didn't have email. There was no such thing.
Yes.
And I never sold cars with, quote, email. And I just initially was like, I'm not doing email. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. And I was now no longer in sales at the point I was in management. But still, and then I adapted. So I think it's really a question of adapting and creating and all that and adding.
Yeah.
So we still want to keep all of our other stuff in play. And then this is such a great idea. Oh, my goodness gracious. I wish we had that back then.
Yeah.
Because I could have maybe done a pre-video, like almost a why buy here type video, where I would say, here's the things that we do here different than others. And I could actually email that video, which is live, like we're doing right now. I could email this video right now to the client, and it would talk about this kind of a thing. So we can do videos, preset videos, why buy here type videos. And then, of course, there's the one-on-one, which is phenomenal. For example, if I'm going to sell a car in Florida, we did that.
Yes.
But we had to do it over the phone. And we certainly couldn't do it one-on-one, press the flesh.
Yeah.
So this Zoom would be such a great idea of how we could pull that off.
You could see the facial reactions.
Oh, absolutely.
It wouldn't be the same as being in person.
No, it's not. But you can't be in person. As we just talked about this. I'm working with Kevin Price right now, right? He is in Florida. I am in Pittsburgh. We can't meet one-on-one without a great deal of expense. So we have this arrangement with Zoom, which I believe is free still, right? It's no charge. We get 40 minutes, and we did a coaching call this morning. And I'm telling you, I love this guy. And I love Zoom. And we are knocking it out of the park with Zoom. Now, why can't we do the same thing with selling cars, selling insurance, selling real estate? Is it ideal? No, but it can be additive to our selling process. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is keep all your old stuff, but this will be additive to that. And there may be some cases where you never do like we were always big on driving the car. Look, guys in Florida. The girls in Florida, we can't drive the car.
Right.
So we have to have another plan with that. So it would be, in that case, we would not be able to go to driving the car.
Yeah.
But guess what? In the old days, we probably couldn't have sold a car. So we also are going to gain business.
How did they find you? Like for a lot of me, I'm in the service industry doing a lot of design services and writing services and those kind of types of consulting marketing. But for us, we had a guy who we knew in Arizona, and he said, oh, you'd love working with these guys. They're in Pittsburgh. And we jumped on a video call and had that sales conversation and worked with them for months and months. And what did that look like? How did that person in Florida, or just people in general, it sounds like often people, not often, but frequently people found you outside of Pittsburgh.
So let's talk about Kevin Price, right? We did the call this morning, and I get as much or more out of it than he does. And I'm the coach. I'm the mentor.
Right.
But I'm already meeting with Kevin next Thursday at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Now, it's a little early for me, but not crazy early to the point I can do it.
Yeah,
I got to get up at 6:30, get myself cleaned up, get my coffee, do that, and we do our thing. And it's a 40-minute call. This is something that I want to do. This is something that he wants to do. This is something that we're both getting great value out of. And so no matter what you're selling, the idea is we want to sell value up, not price down. We want to create so much value that really in the client's mind, it comes down to, why so cheap? Why so cheap? I like this guy. I like this girl. I like his car. I like her car. I like the way they approach me. Why so cheap?
Yeah.
And that's really the idea. If we can create enough value going up this way, then when we present the prices, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy in my local town here, he's actually a little cheaper than you, but man, your head's and shoulders above him or her. And people in general, I don't want to make suppositions here, but in general, people tend to think in my industry that price sells cars. No, it doesn't. It does not. I'll argue that point with anybody. Salespeople sell cars. And the way they sell cars is they create more value than the price offering. And are there people out there that strictly home in on price? Of course there are. Customers and salespeople alike. But that's not who I'm competing with.
Right.
I'm competing in a world called bring more value to the hour. That's how I operate. So if you want to learn how to sell and you want to talk about price, I'm not your guy. I'm going to talk about value.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you clearly, what can you do to add more value to your approach so that you become, the more valuable you become. Now think about this. The more valuable, Jess, you thinking? The more valuable I become, do I become more or less attractive?
More, yeah, because you're giving them a product or service and you're explaining the value of it.
Let's just stick with attraction.
Yep.
The more, because people talk about the law of attraction. I'm not a fan. I think that's too nebulous at best. And it's like almost like I consider it and think and pray, and it's all good things are going to happen. No, I got to create a situation where I become attractive. Jim Rohn said for years, you've heard me say this 1,000 million times. Things get better when I get better. Now, what if that's true? What if things get better when I get better? Then the mission becomes getting better. Back to your long answer to a very short question.
Yeah.
That's typical Jim Shorkey, right? But you said, what about virtual selling? I think it's great, but don't abandon your old stuff. Let's create more value, because if we create more value with virtual selling, but we take the other stuff out, now we're going down. And potentially with just strictly working on virtual selling, we could end up in a worse position relative to selling cars, making money, selling whatever it is we're selling. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let's keep the old stuff there. Let's keep the whiteboard there.
Yeah.
Because the whiteboard should be on.
Yeah.
It should be on the virtual selling.
And the virtual is really helpful, but in certain situations it isn't. We had a manufacturing client hire us recently, and we said, what's one of the main reasons you've hired us? Because they're a decent sized team. And they said, we wanted somebody who was willing to drive the 30, 40 minutes and come meet us in person and have conversations where we could be across the table. Maybe these people were doing the same services you do, but we think you guys can do more.
That's what I'm saying.
We've gotten to develop that relationship where I think we're helping them way more than the other team. Not just because it's virtual, but just because now we're able to sit down in person, explain things, whiteboard things out, map it out, really understand.
But okay, that's it. So the answer to that question in Jim Shorkey's world is, what time do you want me on your doorstep?
Yep.
And if you're on time, you're late. Okay. So they say 7:30. I'm going to be there at 7:20 because I know how traffic works. Maybe even 7:15. I'm going to shoot for 7:15. If I get there early, that's fine. I got books to read. The second thing I want to say about this, I'm going to go meet in person, but I'm going to have a virtual presentation ready in my hip pocket that I can say, hold on, let me show you something. Why buy here? Here's something we did for client Z. I'm going to have the virtual. I'm going to have the virtual presentation ready on my laptop. You know how to do that. But we could take this podcast. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. So we're doing a podcast right now, right? We're recording this right now, right? Why can't we take this podcast to the meeting and say, this is what Derek Kelly and Jim Shorkey do.
Yeah, you absolutely.
And we can maybe clip it out like we do with YouTube and whatnot. We clip it out. And how long are these clips typically?
Oh man, sometimes they're 60 to 90 seconds and it's just pulling a snippet of something great that you said, and thousands of people are enjoying it and getting value.
And what
from
about
it,
the people in the room? So you're pressing the flesh, you're getting the coffee, you're doing your thing, but you have this presentation ready. So I'm going back to my original point. You said, what do I think about that? I think it's additive. Let's add it in. Let's not take stuff off.
Yep.
Does that am I really answering your question?
Yeah, and your value point speaks so much to the value of a salesperson. I was talking to, speaking of that manufacturing situation, there was a guy who's selling like stretch film. You wrap it around these pallets to make sure they're secure on a truck. I'm learning these things. But
I've seen those.
His stretch film might be $2, whereas competitors are $1.50. So why would you spend $2 per roll when you can spend $1.50?
I have to have an answer for that.
So
here's the reason.
Yeah. So
that when these things let loose, you know what happens.
Yes.
And I'm going to draw.
And so for a lot of people, they're over wrapping it, so they're getting it cheaper, but they're using cheaper material, so they're spending more material, so it's costing them more money.
Mine's cheaper
At the $1.50 a roll than it is at the $2 a roll.
Mine's cheaper.
That's fascinating because people think it's, again, to your point, they think it's all about price. In many industries, it's all about price. It's all about price. You told us why.
I got a better deal down the road. No, you didn't. All you got was a better price. I have the better deal, and here's why.
Yeah.
And that's why I got to be prepared with the Why Buy Here brochure.
Yep.
And you should have one.
Yeah.
I got to be prepared with a Why Buy Here, which is a book of testimonials, whatever.
Yep.
Do you have testimonials from customers?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We have videos on our website where people are like,
that's virtual selling then.
Right. People will say, oh, do you have any testimonials? Oh, yeah, let me just message you this link. Boom. It's in your inbox or it's on your phone. When we're done with this meeting, go ahead and take 2 minutes.
You know how powerful that is?
Yep.
So you're answering your own question. You're already selling virtual. That's virtual selling.
Yeah.
We didn't have that back in the day. We had VHS. You couldn't do it. You get it 6 months later. Oh, here's your video. Like, we just couldn't do it. It would do what we're doing right now. What we're doing right now, 20 years ago, was literally impossible. We would have had to have CBS come in and they'd set up a crew and have all these different things.
And what cutting edge?
Phones.
I've seen people recently say, oh, we'll bring a mobile podcast to you. I texted Brad and I said, we've been doing that for gyms for 3 or 4 years.
We're mobile.
We pack it up all in bags and
Where do you live?
Grove City.
Where do I live?
About an hour in Irwin, Pennsylvania.
Where are we at right now?
We're in Irwin.
How far did you drive to get here today?
About an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yep.
Point taken.
We packed it up
We're
all in bags.
doing virtual selling right now. If you're watching this video, you are being sold virtually. Now, why can't you do the same thing? And I don't even know what your industry is. I don't know. Why can't you do the same exact thing in your industry and have it be additive? I'm not saying do this and nothing else. This is an additive. Send the email. Send a thank you card. Beautiful idea. That's old school.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Thank you. So nice talking. You should send a thank you card to somebody who called you for a price inquiry, whatever. Thank you card. So impressive. Email, impressive. Voicemail, when you call somebody, you're going to get voicemail a vast majority of the time. Learn how to leave very compelling voicemail messages. I know how to do this. I leave very compelling voicemail messages. Do I or do I not?
Yes, absolutely.
I don't say, this is Jim Shorkey, 412-651-131. Now, he already knows that's not a voicemail. Right. Hey, Derek, reason I called today, I was working on this thing with Kevin. I do this, Kevin Price, and he has a really great idea. I'd like you to call him and hook up with him and get a copy of what he has. And did we not do something like that? No, we did that live, but still, I could have left the voicemail about that, right?
You could have, yeah.
And by the way, voicemail selling is really convenient. It's a great way to get a thank you out there. It's a great way to have an impression and to create value. And if you do a good voicemail with a lot of emotion, they'll listen to it.
Yeah.
And guess what you just did? You just left an impression.
Yes.
So the thank you card, the email, the thank you email, whatever it is, sending them information. Like, how about snail mail? Snail mail, that's no good. Really?
Oh, it's powerful today,
up.
Jim. It's powerful because not many people are doing it.
You better wake up. Snail mail is a great idea.
Yeah.
Send them your Why Buy Here brochure. Send them a brochure on the card that they looked at.
Jim, I had a client who was working with doctors and thanking them for referrals to their practice. So what they did is they sent them truffles in the mail, just some little snacks to say, thank you so much for your referral. They had a little card with a QR code. You could scan and watch a virtual video that said thank you. But alongside of that virtual thank you was these truffles, right? These way of saying, thank you so much. Here's a treat. handmade from our favorite local bakery, right? That's powerful.
It's powerful. But now you answer the question. Does virtual selling have a place in your business today?
100%. Absolutely. Without question.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's the answer.
Yeah.
So if you're not doing virtual selling, you're missing
For a lot of the people we serve,
I don't care who you are.
it's not 100% of what we do. It's probably not, it's maybe 20%, 15%. It's not, there's something about in person that's valuable, and I don't think will go away.
But hold on. I said that, but back to virtual. Okay, so there's not really much substance to the virtual that I want to do with this particular client, but can I do a virtual thank you?
Yep.
And how powerful would that be? It comes right into their email. They click on it.
Yep.
Hey, I just want to tell you, man, I love meeting your wife yesterday. What a lovely lady. And your dog, I'll tell you, I want one of them things. That's a cute dog. Holy cow, that was lovely. Kids are wonderful. I really would love to earn your business, and I promise you I'll do everything I can to prove that to you. Please, when you get a chance, give me a call, send me an email. Let's try to figure out what we can do to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
So,
We
nice
were
talking
doing
to
that. We were getting, I remember this. I don't know if you recall, but we were getting leads on Facebook to come in to get your ebook. And for every person that came in, you made them a small 1-minute video thanking them. Eventually, we had so many people coming in. You're like, Derek, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I remember.
You were thanking each person individually. Yeah. Hey, Brian, thanks so much for.
Where that idea came from?
I don't know.
The automobile business. People really don't believe this about Jim Shorkey, but people that know me know that I am speaking the truth. I always speak the truth. So people came into the dealership when I was the guy, and we would capture their name and their phone number. So this could be a person that walks in to look at a car. It could be a person that's there for a second visit. It could be a referral. It's a human being in our dealership. People also called into the dealership inquiring about a car. We called that, it was a phone call. And so we kept a log of all those different people that came in, no matter what, this is today's log. Every single person was captured on the log, their name, their phone number, and their address, assuming we had that, but we didn't really need that, but we had it. What I did was I took those logs every day, and throughout the day, I called back every single person. And I thanked them for stopping in. And I asked them how they were treated while they were in our dealership. And I asked them what I could do to sell them a car today. Same thing, every single time. Now, a lot of those phone calls were voicemail, so I had to get real good at leaving voicemail. So the voicemail would be something like this. Hello, this is Jim Shorkey calling from the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group. My cell phone number is 412-651-1319. Yes, I did give him my cell phone number, 412-651-1319. I just wanted to let you know I'm the owner of the Jim Shorkey Family Auto Group, and I called today because I wanted to thank you for calling into our dealership yesterday. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you and to have an opportunity to do business with you, and I wanted to thank you for that, so thank you. Secondly, I want to make sure that my salesperson took good care of you when you did call in. That's a very important thing to me personally as a family-run business. And then lastly, I wanted to know what I can do, exactly what I can do, to sell you a car today or in the very near future. So if you could, please give me a call back when you get a chance. My name is Jim Shorkey. My cell phone number is 412-651-1319. I'll repeat that, 412-651-1319. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. And by the way, when you do have the little hiccups, like where you stutter, stammer, that's okay. You're a human being. Don't try to edit that stuff out. Don't make it a perfect phone call.
Yep.
They understand that you're going to hesitate. They understand you're going to mispronounce a word. They understand you're going to leave a word out. Just go back and repeat it and get it in there. Say the number a second time, whatever. And you're a real person. I am telling you, you can do your own research. You talk to people that did business with me before 2016, back in the day, and they will tell you, I got to tell you, what impressed me, you make me cry. Give me a minute. What impressed me about that dude was that he called me. I literally called a customer the other day. My son, it was a guy that I went to school with. And my son, Russell James, said, do you know this guy? I said, of course I know. It's Eddie Marbich. Yeah, I went to school with him. He said, I think he'd appreciate having a call from you. So he gave me his phone number, and I called him. And I thought, yeah, I remember you. Of course I do. Yeah, St. Edwards and Central and all. Remember all that stuff. And he says, you know what really matters to me? The fact that you took the time to call me. I said, Eddie, what else would I do? You're my friend.
Yeah.
You're a client of the dealership. What else would I do?
Yeah.
And it's still the same. They're so impressed. Remember, the secret to selling, the secret to life, the secret to being successful is bring more value to the hour. Things get better when you get better. And what I did with this gentleman was I became very attractive in his mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, Jim,
That's the gig.
thank you for just sharing. It's like we
Gets me emotional.
We talked about like add-ons to the sales process.
This is old
right?
school.
This is really important because you're thinking about different add-ons like a video presentation, a PowerPoint, right? A thank you card. So many kind of add-ons to what you're doing in person. So powerful. And I've seen that work for me, and I know you've seen that work for you.
And
So-
make the phone call. Again, that's old school. I know it's a cell phone. Still, it's a phone.
Yep.
Make the call. Take advantage of voicemail. Make that call. I'm telling you,
100%.
it makes an impression.
People that
And
just
it's a
rely
good one.
only on email.
Oh, big
I'm
mistake.
just like, you're making a mistake. You can email till you're blue in the face, but just pick up the phone.
Do the email, but make the
Yeah.
call.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim.
My pleasure, man.
Thank you, guys.
You guys got me crying.
And we'll see you on the next episode.